What up? How's it going? Hey, yo, not much to say. Let's go ahead and get into this last episode of season 4. She's ready to kill everybody and let everybody have it because they letting her rapist, not just her rapist, but a serial rapist and an enabler and war criminals all out and about for some information. And I'm like, did they even try to leverage it? Like, them two have no leverage. The fact that they... Hey, let's go ahead and see how this goes.
Pretend you love it. Pretend you want him. He is your commander. Make him your whole world. Make him believe. Because your motherfucking life depends on it.
Motherfucking, not motherfucking. Motherfucking.
Don't. Fight.
Sentencing agreements like this one are usually approved by the court. Commander Waterford will, in all likelihood, be granted immunity in exchange for his cooperation.
Is he everything you hoped for?
Absolutely.
You won't be able to shut him up. Weak men, they do make the world go round.
I am on your side, Miss Osborne.
I was a prisoner that Waterford would sometimes take out to fuck. And you were gonna set him free. You don't have a side.
Nah, he do. Of course, I don't agree with it, but they have to do this, right? They're going up against Gilead, not against Fred and Serena. And I can say that, right? Because I'm here, safety of my... Of course, if I'm in her position, or if I'm Luke, I'm going to be tight. You feel what I'm saying? But here, watching the show, yeah, what they're doing is right.
He's free to just set up whatever the fuck he wants with his Viking-ass wife. He will be gone by the end of the week.
Well, good. Out of sight, out of mind.
We're gonna raise the money and then you can go there and testify in person.
No.
Forget about the ICC. You can do interviews. You can talk to the press. I mean, they won't do this, right? He can't just be out.
Oh, you know something interesting? Most people don't know about that whole thing of the U.S. utilizing Nazis in science programs and shit like that, like in NASA. Of course, they're going to have that response, right? If they can gain something from who is deemed the so-called enemy, they're going to utilize it. And in this case, it's even more dire of a situation. They're going up against a superpower, and they are a bunch of refugees. Any information they could get, they're going to try to get, right? So if the U.S. after World War II was willing to do that after winning, losers, the ones who are just basically just a group of refugees, they're going to do the same thing or even worse.
I got up and I told them everything. They know what he was, what he did, and how it felt. They made a deal with him anyway. So maybe what he's giving them is more valuable than what he took from me.
Don't say that.
Commander is giving you everything that you want. Military command structure, resources, the colonies, correct?
Yes.
I'm sure he's making you look quite good to your bosses. So you can start with that woman. Her contempt is completely unacceptable.
Mrs. Waterford, your husband has confessed to brutal crimes, many of which you witnessed yourself.
These are the worst people. They going
You refer to him as commander, or this interview will end.
Okay. Bye. They showed how much they needed them by immediately offering these motherfuckers freedom. So because of that, now look at this look at her flexing.
The commander needs much faster internet access. Press requests are becoming overwhelming, and he has a constituent.
He getting AOL. He get one of them discs. Don't play with me.
The commander and I have discussed it. We will not have our son born in this place.
June, turn up, June. I need you to flatten this whole situation. You feel me?
Plan on living with the commander as husband and wife.
As a family, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to me, Serena?
I don't believe I have to.
Emily, I really want to let go of him. Fred, yeah. I want to focus on my family. I want to focus on Hannah and my Nicole.
Turn up, June. Go kill her.
Blessed evening, June. May I call you June?
That is my name.
Oh, no.
Yes, it is.
Always was my name, actually.
Out of respect, I hold no ill will,
Ill will.
even after those things you said in court.
They're making them as worse as possible, so we perfectly fine with them dying. I was perfectly fine in season 1.
I do understand that you had to frame things in front of the judge and your husband. There were discomforts in my house, I know, for both of us.
Discomfort.
More for you, of course.
For both of us. My goodness.
You must have experienced such terrible longing for your daughter.
No shit.
And for that, I'm sorry.
I didn't think you'd ever say that.
She's doing a good job right here.
A relationship we both needed very badly to survive in our own ways. I wouldn't call it love, but
Yeah. Yeah. There was.
This goes back to that very first scene where she was doing the voiceover.
I do find myself missing her often.
I miss her too. I miss her strength.
He really believes she's receptive to hearing this horse shit too. Like, yeah, I miss when I was chattel property.
To Alfred. I'm gonna put Fred on the wall.
How?
June, they're gonna let him go. Okay? So you gotta let it go.
On the fucking wall.
She's gonna give him the nick. She's gonna give that motherfucker the nick.
I need Fred to get what he deserves.
I understand. I don't know what I can do for you.
Give me a ride. Just listen. So, you want to make a deal for Fred?
Deal. He's not a used Subaru. He is my fellow countryman. We just want to get Commander Waterford, Fred, home.
Yeah, that's all it is. We just want him home.
I'm sure you would. Waterford is talking and you're scared.
We would be willing to discuss a range of monetary policy changes. 22 of these women worked with the resistance. Isn't that right?
We thought they were dead, most of them.
But these are the lives they're trying to save. And you cannot say that Fred Waterford is worth more than these women.
Whatever happens to him if we get him won't be enough for you.
Would we ever know what happened to him?
I don't care. I just want him gone.
I want him to be afraid. Because I was afraid for so long. Like in the woods when I was caught. When they took Hannah.
More than that.
I want him to be scared to death.
It really is a miracle, Fred, what you've done.
Guided by his hand and my love for the two of you.
Shut the fuck up.
Mr. Twillo, what a surprise. I was told you wouldn't be coming along to Geneva.
You're not going to Geneva.
What is this posturing? I want to speak to my lawyer immediately.
You no longer have a lawyer.
Immediately. Posturing.
Commander Waterford, the
Shut up.
ICC court have ruled you unfit for leniency and may
coward.
return your dispensation
You're a
over
liar.
to the American
Fucking
government.
liar.
You are now in my custody.
This is absurd. I have rights. I'm a man and I have rights. Did you hear me, Twillo?
Man, did I have. Shut up!
You're going home, Commander. Tell them we're ready. 22 coming back. Check the names, get them on the bus. I want them on the move as quickly as possible. Your government has made us a guarantee that you will be tried under the former Gilead justice system. You helped write those laws, didn't you? To work for these women, now it's your turn.
You'll have to face God with this decision, Mr. Twillo. He'll be the judge of you, not I. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what you desire, what you covet.
Goodbye, Commander.
Yeah, we want you to die. that's like, what are you talking about? He's still trying to talk like he epic. Cut that corny shit out. Immediately. Shut up. Now this motherfucker from the north sounding antebellum than a motherfucker.
Praise be. Your home's safe.
Everything I did to protect my family. Nick?
Commander. And Lawrence? Guys will take the prisoner into custody.
If I object, will it make a difference?
No, sir. At the border, I'm afraid the eyes maintain tactical control.
He seems to have us over a barrel. Go in grace, Fred.
Lawrence is fucking hilarious.
Tell me where I am.
You're in no man's land, Commander. For whatever man sows, so shall he reap. You do this yourself, Commander.
What the fuck is this? You are a good and kind woman.
Choose.
I know you can't shoot me.
All right.
I knew this is what was about to happen. I was like, wait, are they going to do that thing from like the first episode, I believe it was, where they all just surrounded and beat that guy? And when he called it no man's land, that's what kind of clued me in. Is that what's happening here? Oh no, that's the Gilead motherfuckers. Is that what it is? No, what is? Who is it? Yeah, that is the chicks.
Run.
He's a, oh. Boy, dude, he got on the church shoes too.
Love. That's what he needs. Pretend you like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretend you love it.
Hey, they played that on Kill Bill. There we go. Join in. Let's go. Yeah. No.
Don't bite.
She about to bite him?
Don't.
Bite his nose off. Oh, shit. This is a dope callback. With the lights all facing it. Like, hey. Next season better be all about killing Serena. Now, of course, what's his Commander Lawrence? He's correct. But about like that won't be enough, but hey, whatever. Oh no. But hilarious. Yep, there we go. I was like, it's gonna be a piece of his body. Funny, this nigga Luke, we're like, we gotta do it again. Can you at least wipe the blood off this first? Like, god damn. She got blood on the baby face. She's wildin'. Nigga, if I'm Luke, I'm like, man, give me that goddamn baby. You went hunting? What is that?
Just give me 5 minutes, okay?
Holy shit.
Just give me 5 minutes with her.
Oh.
Then I'll go.
That man was like, she did it. My God, she did it. He just sunk to the deck.
Mommy loves you so much.
This just hold on, I'm sorry. Ooh, damn. What the fuck they gonna do? It better be about getting Serena. Oh shit! Oh no! Rewind that. Don't try to skip over it fast. Fuck is y'all doing? If I could, that would be the goddamn thumbnail, but you can't put a thumbnail like that on YouTube. The motherfuckers will clip my shit. Yeah. Don't let them. Do not let them. First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I have a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. If you'd like to, check it out. So I cannot recall what the ceremony was, but it's in the very first episode, I believe, like towards the end of it. And Aunt Lydia goes up there. She gives a speech. And it was a dude, he was a guardian, and he had done something to one of the handmaids, which I'm assuming he just fell in love with. I'll just always assume that, like they had something going on, but they made it sound like it was rape or a violation. And then they had the girls, the handmaids, surround him in a circle and proceed to maul him. And I pointed out that you could see that Gilead had perfected what they were doing with the handmaids. And what I mean perfected, I don't mean perfect as in a good thing. I mean like they figured out that these are humans, right? This is not just some animals or something like that, because even animals will go crazy under stressful conditions. But because they're under these stressful conditions, not only will it be harder on them to have a baby and bring it to term, not only will it cause them to lash out, not only will it cause them depression and shit like that, you have to find ways to have them decompress. And it's even though they're not getting out of there or anything like that, it's cathartic for them to just beat up and maul a motherfucker, a man specifically, right? So they can say it, put it under the guise of all the other shit they were saying, but that's not what it was about. It was a way to have the handmaids get some shit out of their system, right? And we go back to that last episode where June, she's like, hey, y'all can stay back. And there were certain ones who basically were like, they were down with fucking up. If they had a chance, they'd do what they would to them. Now, we see them basically perform that ceremony. They had all the flashlights in the circle so they were able to see, and they mauled him. And you saw Glee. Emily's face be stone cold, but it was time to get it going. And so I'm wondering, going forward, like what could they possibly do, right? Because they're not going to get no more. They're not going to have a chance to get any more people from Gilead. Serena, this is all going to be about Serena next season. Now, the thing about Serena that's interesting is that she was done with Gilead way before when the first time the agent approached her, when they had come over for that meeting or whatever. And so now that she's over there and she's writing and she knows they would want to take her child, and now she thinks, oh, I can give birth, so she kind of thinks she's good. We're going to see, because she doesn't, this is the most fucked up thing about it for her. She don't know shit why they kept her in the dark. So she knows stuff, but she's not privy to most of it because she's a woman. And the whole thing about her and Fred's relationship is that every once in a while he come and ask, I won't even say ask, she would just straight up give her point of view, right? Almost like the chick from House of Cards, you know what I mean? But the chick from House of Cards was free, is free, right? But this Serena, she went along with it, but she don't know nothing. She doesn't have anything to offer them. You feel me? So she not going nowhere, especially after trying to pull what she pulled with that agent, right? That's pretty crazy, man. And you want to know what's dope about Moira? She's such a good friend, Moira is, right? Because did you see? We going to Geneva. You gonna go talk to her. We gonna raise some money. You brought all those kids home. You got the clout, right? Like she understood how she felt, because she was a Jezebel. She dealt with him. She saw him there. That motherfucker, for him to sit there at the meeting, I know it's been said, but I've never frequented. Like, shut up, dummy. The thing of how she wanted to do this, because it ends with her saying everything she's saying. And of course, we knew nothing was going to come of that, but that was her. That was her lashing out, and rightfully so. But I actually would like to get into something real quick. I don't fault the government for attempting to do what they did in that situation. When she keeps saying, yo, you can't say anybody's life is over anybody else's, they have to make that decision. That decision has to be made over and over and over again. That's kind of like a. So imagine just regular right now, we living in a so-called superpower, and they do that all the time. So imagine if now Gilead's a superpower and you're over there and you're a refugee. Yeah, if I can save thousands, right, or hundreds, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But what she utilized was Lawrence. And the thing about him was always that he would play the commander. But you could see right through it. For as it was a thing of, he was almost so sincere that you could tell that he was trying to be commandery, and right, like it just bled through that. No, you know, we know how you really feel. You cannot hide it, and he's actually okay with her getting out, but he would rather have not had that. He's all about keeping that thing going. And he sees it as the best, most fruitful way to keep life going. And so he still got love for her. Right? Like that as a handmaid, she cared about his wife. You know what I mean? And then they technically have that bonding moment of trauma where they force that man to, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like they forced him onto her. So they have a bond. And that's another thing with her. Trauma is so fucked up. She has bonds with people in ways where it's like, right? Like she loved Luke, her family. But Nick, she loved Nick. She kissed on Nick. But Nick is a scumbag fucking piece of shit who's on Gilead's side, right? And then you got Lawrence, right? Who runs all of the shit, who comes up with the ideas. When they have meetings, they come to his fucking house because he's seen as the guru. He's pretty much the only person over there allowed to do what he will and allowed to live in science. Like, remember when we first saw he had a Tesla and we were like, what the fuck? Like, it's jarring because over there, these motherfuckers is one step away from horse and buggy. Right? Buggy. I said boogie. Hilarious. So when the guy goes and he was able to offer up some women. Now, we know those Marthas, the most fucked up thing that they did with the Marthas is this. All of these women were very important in their other lives. And in Gilead's backward way of thinking, they went, well, these women, they're worth something to us. We can't. We have to. Because I remember there's a moment where, I can't remember whether in the first episodes where Serena, or I think it may have been a voiceover of June's, where she talks about the Marthas were basically created as a way of showing, like, giving women some sort of strength or something like that. Like it was just this weird way of saying, like, oh, they gave them something else to do, to be proud of. And it was like, what? And I mean, we saw Marthas that were doctors, Marthas that were James Beard Award winners. We saw, and then they were talking about like oncologists, and their way of thinking was, well, these women can't have babies, but we can utilize them for something. Yeah, cooking and cleaning. Like, what? That was their backwards way of thinking. And it was so fucked up to see Rita. She can't stop. She was basically like, yeah, it's something I'm working on with my therapist. She can't stop. And imagine though how that is for June. That's like traumatic for, right? But it's a thing, she can't turn it off. It's kind of fucked up. And it's, imagine doing that all day, all night. That's what you were worth. And now you got to replace that. And also, it actually, in a way, while doing it over there, it would keep her mind off of how fucked up the place was. And so it's a way now, and I'm speaking about Rita, all of this, it's a way for her to still sort of keep her mind off of things. But imagine how jarring it is. Imagine how jarring it is for June to be like being offered something by a Martha, right? But yeah, they were able to get some women to come over, and so that last part, she has Nick, she has that dude over there, and she said she wanted him to feel fear. Now there was a bunch of things that added up to that final scene. She said she wanted to build fear, and she was like how bad, you know? And she's like when we was caught in the forest. She's like, worse than that. And so that's clue one. And then I'm like, okay. And then everything is going, and she brings him to the border, and you see Nick. Nick just being there is clue two, because Nick is an eye. He can do things, and he's like, we control the borders. Okay. Clue three. Nick pulls up. You're in no man's land. I'm like, no man's land. That's an interesting way to put it. Right? When they say man or woman on here, it's not by mistake. Like, for instance, when they put Fred in the truck, he goes, I'm a man, I have rights. He meant that in the most Gilead way. Like, it was a revert. He reverted to his Gilead ass self. Right? He didn't mean it. You know how over in the U.S., it's like a trope. It's a funny thing when a white guy gets pulled over and I'm an American. Damn it. It's like that. But his first thing to say wasn't I'm a Galatian or whatever, however the fuck you say. It was I'm a man, I have rights. Right? So when they said no man's land, I'm like, huh. So she made him choose. And I'm like, what? And then she pulled out the whistle. And I'm like, oh, it's on. It's on. And as they proceeded to do what they did, I'm like, oh. Now, I wonder, though, where does that go? Because we see June, she comes in the house. She did what she did. And Luke couldn't handle it. The thing that's so weird about it to me, I won't say it's weird. You know what? I won't say that. Because, of course, he feels this way. Because he hasn't been around the horrible shit and seen all the horrible shit. And even when it happened to him, it was like a one and done almost. Like he gets popped and then he pretty much is over there. He saw a bunch of people die. So everything for him is all trauma. He's never had to put in no work, really. So when she comes back with the blood, and it's blood on the baby, and he just sinks to the floor. I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, oh, man, that man is shocked. That was funny to me. I don't know why. His reaction was like, oh, I've lost her. And she was like, 5 minutes and I'm a bounce. Right? So she understands that we can all kind of see. I made a statement about this early on. Like, yo, in like the first season, I go, if they ever get back together, how is that going to work? Right? Like, that's not going to work. Hey, yeah, the second half of the season was better to me than the first because now we have moved to a space where we could explore other things. The thing I will say, though, is there are a lot of moments they were just filling it. Like the whole Janine and Aunt Lydia thing, it's just, what are we going to do with that? What are we doing with that? What else is there for me to discover of Gilead or for y'all to study on Gilead, right? I don't really, there's nothing, everything that happened to that girl. Yeah, we know. I didn't even have to see that. I know we could piece that together. And that's a place where they're at right now where there's kind of, when it comes to the Gilead shit, if you're showing me shit that we get. So what is this leading to? It has to be some sort of story. And in that final part of the season, it didn't lead to anything. The Aunt Lydia / Janine thing / is it Esther? I can't remember her name. I believe it was Esther. Yeah. Next season is gonna be crazy because I don't know what they're gonna do. You got Serena, you got Luke, who is like, motherfucker is fucked up. And then you got Nick, and how long can Nick keep getting away with it? You can't keep getting away with this, right? Yeah, next season.